Chapter 199 of One Punch Man actually shocked me. I honestly was not ready for the level of violence we would be getting in this chapter. I mean, it's pretty much Flashy Flash and Sonic slicing heads off for an entire chapter. Very pleasantly surprised by this chapter because I thought it was going to be a super boring one, because as you know, if you've been following the One Punch Man manga lately, we're currently in a series of redraws, where One and Murata decided to completely redo the Ninja Village arc, which was a total of like 8 chapters, I think, and some have been absolutely amazing, but others seem like they don't have like a ton of differences, so they kind of leave you with the big meh at the end of them because you waited 2 weeks for it, right? But I personally was pretty pleasantly surprised with this one, because we kick off with Flashy Flash and Sonic having some back and forth banter. You know, they're the type of people that would never directly compliment each other. It's always kind of like a backhanded comment. That's kind of the relationship they have going on. Well, one of the Heavenly Ninja Party members decides to attack them head on. I want to say that this ninja in particular is Instant Moment from the 19th class Momentum, but honestly it's a little hard to tell. It doesn't really matter though, because he doesn't stick around for long. He lunges right for Flashy Flash and Sonic, but they both suddenly disappear, and as the guy is wondering where the hell they both went, Flashy Flash appears with a sonic boom right behind him, with his head already being sliced off. This is easily one of the most, if not the most, badass Sonic moment, as we just see him cut this dude's head clean off. And we gotta remember, these are all elite ninja, right? We kinda have to keep that in mind as we're going through this chapter, because the massacre we're about to see does not reflect the strength of the ninja party. It more so reflects the strength of Flashy Flash and Sonic, because they seem to be way above even these guys. Well, after Sonic kicks off the fight in big fashion, it's now Flashy Flash's turn. And what's pretty awesome is that throughout this fight, it seems like Sonic and Flashy Flash's attacks are kind of playing off of each other. They're coordinating almost perfectly against all of these ninjas, and the result is some seriously deadly and awesome looking attacks. But of course, if you know the relationship between these two, they're definitely going to be trying to one-up each other in this fight, even if they're working together. And that's exactly what Flashy Flash does, because instead of slicing the head off of just one Heavenly Ninja Party member, Sonic straight up takes out like 2 or 3 of them in a single swipe. And again, he's moving way faster than they can comprehend. And again, I just want to mention, as all this head cutting is happening, like this is stuff that we usually never get in One Punch Man. Like for a pretty adult oriented manga, things surprisingly don't ever really get this violent. Sure, in the Monsterization arc, we saw some pretty brutal violence, mainly like all the punishment that was delivered by Fear Ugly single-handedly. So that's why I say that this was a very pleasant surprise for this chapter, because sure, we knew that Flashy Flash and Sonic were going to be taking on the Heavenly Ninja Party like they did in the previous version of this chapter, but I really think that one delivered in this one with the violence and also the action. Because sure, seeing characters get their heads cut off is pretty cool, pretty edgy and all that, but the action sequences are the real star of this chapter, because not only do we get that awesome lightning strike from Flashy Flash, we also see that Hellfire and Gale Wind try to join in the fight by having Gale set up his metal threads all over the place, just like he tried doing against Flashy Flash in the Monsterization arc. And this is all happening midair, by the way, but the Heavenly Ninja Party tries taking down Hellfire and Gale Wind by having like 3 of them impale them at the same time. But Flashy Flash has some very clever quick thinking. He grabs onto Gale Wind's ankle and proceeds to spin him around and knock out the other members. Like he's just straight up spinning him like a rag doll and nailing all of these Ninja Party members. And one of the Ninja Party members that he hits goes straight through the net of metal strands, and the dude gets absolutely diced up into pieces. Like we see his body get split up, his head gets split up. Pretty insane. Well, Flashy Flash and Sonic are starting to realize that these guys don't know how to fight with any creativity at all. They're pretty much stuck with the principles that they learned from the Ninja Village. But that's not the case with Flashy Flash and Sonic. They know how to innovate. They know how to grow and progress now. So that's really what gives them the upper hand on the Ninja Party, because they don't know what the hell is coming at them. It was also noted by Flashy Flash in the past that the Heavenly Ninja Party members are pretty strong individually, but they're really bad at synergizing. Like they're really bad at working together. So with Sonic and Flashy Flash working together against them, they don't really know how to deal with it, and they also seem to be getting in each other's way. Like they're all coming at them individually when they really should be ganging up on them together, like using their numbers to defeat them, but you know, they're not doing that. Sonic and Flashy Flash are taking them out with pure speed and the element of surprise. Also, Flashy Flash decides to save Hellfire and Gale Wind because he apparently needs them for something later. And of course, we all know from the previous version of this chapter that it's to get to the bottom of this Monsterification thing, because Hellfire and Gale Wind are like the only people we have ever met that have ever gone from monster back to human. So they're obviously going to be playing an important role here in the story going forward. Also, back when Hellfire and Gale Wind were both revived by Phoenix Man, or at least the electricity that resulted from the fight between them, kind of catching their bodies in the crossfire, that's what seemed to have like revived them and also possibly removed their monsterization. Monsterization. So it's starting to make a lot more sense why a few chapters ago, the Hero Association was experimenting with like this shock therapy in particular. In the current experiment they're going through that's being headed by Blast, where we saw those members from the super fight tournament that got turned into monsters being absolutely fried by electricity, with one of them actually seeming like he's starting to snap out of it. This definitely had to have been a coincidence because I don't think anybody is aware that Hellfire and Gale Wind were brought back to life in general. Well, I mean, at least besides Flashy Flash, but Child Emperor and Phoenix Man didn't see it happen. I don't know, just thought that was a pretty interesting little detail. I also think that this reverse monsterization stuff is being highlighted a lot more than in the webcomic, because I think it's planting seeds for something that's going to play a major role in a My Mask character arc. In the Monster Association arc, we learned that he is actually some kind of like monster-fied human or something, but obviously the dude has some demons that he's fighting, so this reverse monsterization process might play a key role into bringing him back, or making sure that he stays on the good side. Well, for probably the most badass action sequence of this entire chapter, we have Ninja Party member Brawny Muscle attacking Sonic and Flashy Flash. He dishes out a punch but misses obviously, and as his fist is in the ground, Flashy Flash and Sonic take the opportunity to straight up nail him in the back of the head at the same time, planting his face into the ground. Immediately after this, Sonic throws exploding shuriken and creates a ring of explosions around the remaining Ninja Party members in order to not give them any way to escape. Immediately following this, a large part of a truck comes flying at the members, and we see that it's carrying Flashy Flash. So as this piece of vehicle is flying towards them, Flashy Flash uses it as a platform to jump right at the Ninja Party members. So using all the rubble that's surrounding them from the explosions from that shuriken, Flashy Flash starts to like straight up ping pong off of everything, hitting the group of Ninja Party members every single time he bounces back and forth. And this is just an absolutely beautiful double spread. Sonic and Flashy Flash's synergy is on a completely different level right now, and the icing on the cake comes when the remaining party members are kind of huddled around, obviously in fear back to back because they don't want to be hit by Flashy Flash, and it seems like they're getting fully surrounded by a single person. So as all of their attention is taken outwards towards protecting against Flashy Flash, Sonic comes bursting out from the ground in between them and straight up just does a spin with his sword and slices each one of their heads off, completely finishing off the remaining Ninja Party members. Then the chapter ends off with them having some more banter, and we're going to be leading into the next chapter where we hopefully are going to be seeing Empty Void once again. Like I said though, this was an absolutely amazing chapter. I know not much new stuff happened here. I knew everybody knew that Sonic and Flashy Flash were going to be fighting the Ninja Party in this chapter, so there's like not really anything different here. But I think the updated fight sequences were so freaking awesome. You can't deny that we were gifted with a pretty beautiful looking chapter from Murata this week, so we can at least be thankful for that, right? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below though. Did you enjoy this revised chapter, or are you just waiting for the new stuff? Are you waiting for us to finally get out of this arc? Let me know. That is it for this one though. Have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video.